I wouldn't start to be the person I am today without having been mentored. I've developed an admiration for the person that I think was the great social observer in the 20th century, and that's Peter Drucker. He was the person I most admired and I thought most understood American society, and he invented the idea of management. And Peter was the one who was the constant presence. I think a lot of what a mentor does is to be out ahead of you. Peter was about 30 years, almost exactly 30 years my senior, and wiser than I by millennia. People ask me what Peter did for me as a mentor. He basically did about four things. First of all, he gave me permission to be me. The second thing he did was encourage me along the way, kind of say, add a way to go, or give me a little instruction for course changes. He gave me very, very important acknowledgement. Last of all, he gave me accountability. I would see him maybe twice a year for 20 years. He would tell me, before I came to see him, he said, write me a long, rambling letter on what you want to talk about. Now, did I want to come back 6 months later and say to Peter, well, I've been playing golf the last 6 months, but I'm going to get busy soon? No, I didn't. That was as demanding a form of accountability as I can imagine finding. And what I decided to do was what Peter did for me for maybe 8 or 10 other people at a time. My whole business plan is on this one little card here. The first section is what I intend to do. The second section is who I intend to do it for. And that's kind of a rotating list of 8 or 10 different entrepreneurs who are smart people with great ideas for the kingdom. They come and go, and I do whatever I can to be useful to them. The question I started asking originally, that I think is one of the best questions anybody can ask looking at someone else, is there anything I can do to be useful to you? And then, if you can do it, do it. If you can't do it, point them to somebody who can. I have one person who basically wants to do for American Catholicism what I've been doing for evangelicals. The Catholics are looking over the fence, noticing that one curve is going this way and one curve is going that way. And I basically said to this person, I'll dump everything I've learned in 28 years of working with evangelicals on you guys. In the early days of Leadership Network, I found two people that I thought were just spectacular leaders and who were going to not only be leaders of their churches, but leaders of movements of churches, hundreds of churches. Their names were Bill Hybels and Rick Warren. And last year's conference for Bill Hybels, teaching leadership to people in his church in Chicago and then by satellite and DVD all over the world, had 160,000 church leaders attending. I certainly didn't do that, but I had a hand in it for quite a while in the early going, and he's not on my wallet card anymore. He doesn't need me. They're doing great. I have a plaque over this direction in front of a bronze of Peter Drucker that says, "The joy is in the results." I always say the fruit of my work grows up on other people's trees. You don't always get the right biological father and the right biological mother. And what you can do, though, is you can fill that with some non-biological person that you admire a great deal. I kind of adopted Peter without ever telling him I'd adopted him as an adopted father figure for me. Linda and I lost our only son at age 24. He was a golden boy who was an adventurer and died in that process. So I have a void in my life. I get lots of Christmas cards every Christmas with people with children and grandchildren, and their beautiful daughters are getting married and such as that. So I would say that I have found a way to fill that void. Ross would be 49 years old today, and I have a real affinity for people in their 40s right now. Adopt a son, adopt a father. It'll change your life.